All right, Kylie, thank you. Well, recruiting, developing, and retaining teachers remain really one of the biggest challenges in education. Teach Indy is getting a huge financial boost to help tackle the challenge from the College Football Playoff Foundation and the 2022 College Football Playoff National Championship Host Committee. Plus, civic and education leaders launching a virtual hub to help Indiana educators and families all over the state cope with a new era of e-learning with a gift to create a statewide e-learning lab. In our Eye on Education segment this week, we'll get details on both from 2022 Indianapolis College Football Playoff National Championship Host Committee co-chair for Legacy Impact, Claire Fiddian-Green, and the Mind Trust CEO, Brandon Brown. And welcome to you both. Glad you could join us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Claire, I want to start with you. Of course, Indianapolis scheduled to host the 2022 College Football National Championship game. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be a great event. But a key part of that really is the foundation giving back to the communities that host these games. The education across the country is the theme is education, and that's certainly the case with Indianapolis hosting this game as well.
That's right, Gary. One of the College Football Playoff National Championships' biggest points of pride is their Legacy Impact Project, and their priority cause is elevating the teaching profession.
Well, let's look at that because you are have committed $1.5 million to Indianapolis. Recently issued about $200,000 of that. That will be targeting an effort in Indianapolis public schools to recruit, develop, and retain teachers.
That's right. That remains one of our pressing needs, is to make sure we have more teachers coming into the profession and that they succeed, flourish, and stay in the classroom to provide great education to kids.
Okay, Brandon, I want to get your take on this because it's such a huge issue, talent in any industry. But you look at the education field, keeping quality teachers, recruiting those teachers, a big issue. The Mind Trust, Teach Indy is getting this money. The Mind Trust, Indianapolis Public Schools, the Indianapolis Mayor's Office are getting their arms around this. How's it going to work? What are you going to do? How's the group going to really tackle those challenges?
Yeah, so when we think about how do we scale up high quality schools for kids, the number one variable is how do we get more high quality teachers in our classrooms. So in 2008, these 3 local organizations came together to try to really establish a citywide initiative to recruit high quality teachers to really teach in our most high-need schools. And what we found over time is that it's not just enough to have a recruitment strategy. We need to support and develop and reward our teachers on an ongoing basis, because we can't just focus on the front of that continuum. We have to make sure that we're retaining high-quality teachers over time.
Yeah, so that's one major initiative that will be unfolding, certainly. Just a few weeks earlier, Claire, the foundation awarded some $800,000 to create an e-learning lab in this era of COVID that has really come into focus, obviously. Talk about this e-learning lab, why the investment made there, and the fact this is very much a statewide initiative.
That's right, Gary. Well, COVID-19 forced all of us at home for a period of time, and literally overnight, we had to start learning and teaching remotely, and that placed enormous strain on educators statewide and, of course, on parents and students. So these civic leaders came together, and with the support from the College Football Playoff National Championship and the local host committee, we were able to launch the Indiana eLearning Lab, along with support from the Indianapolis eLearning Fund. The Indiana eLearning Lab is a statewide virtual hub that provides resources and supports for educators as well as parents to assist with e-learning needs of students.
Yeah, it's statewide, and I think the key component there, the key element to remember, it's free as well for folks. So that is big. It's very much statewide. I know there's a Sellersburg company that's involved in partnership to make this happen. So this truly is a statewide initiative.
That's right, Gary. Yeah, one of the key partners is 5-Star, which is an Indiana-based company founded by educators and administrators. They work with schools all over the state, public and private, to support their technology and e-learning needs.
Yeah, Brandon, as you look at that e-learning component, it has become almost literally overnight such a huge issue in education. As you look at this e-learning lab and the impact that can have, your thoughts?
It's huge. So I'm a dad. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old at home. And with all the privilege in the world, it was really challenging for my wife and I to navigate the complexities of e-learning. And I can't imagine the marginalized families in our community who face just really immense challenges. Mm-hmm. So I think that this free resource that will be available just across the strait is an absolute game-changing investment for our kids, for our families, and our educators. And I'm just really excited about the results.
Yeah. Claire, I'll give you the final word on this. I think it's lost on a lot of people who don't realize when major events like the College Football National Championship game come to town, many times there's this legacy impact that is left in a huge way. This is a lot of money, ultimately $1.5 million. In your view, the impact that this is going to have on education, not only here in Indianapolis, but statewide?
We hope that this important gift from the College Football Playoff National Championship and the local host committee not only helps teachers and families and students navigate this COVID era that we're living in, but also turns into a long-standing resource that can help teachers be more innovative with their lesson planning and ultimately help students succeed with their academics. Yeah, one more big byproduct and benefit from being the sports capital of the world, right? Claire Fiddian-Green, the co-chair of the Legacy Impact, the 2022 CFP National Championship Host Committee, also Brandon Brown, the CEO at the Mind Trust. Thank you both very much. We look forward to following the progress on these initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
All right.